episode centers on everything crashing down at once: reputations, relationships, and futures, as secrets detonate across Maxton Hall. The finale opens with Lexington spiraling. He receives a photo of Graham kissing a student, immediately has it analyzed, and when he hears it's real, he absolutely panics. He's terrified this will destroy him. The student's graduating, Graham's promotion is already signed off, and now he looks like a headmaster who let a teacher hook up with a student on his watch, and wants the situation contained now before it hits the school board and investors. While Lexington is spiraling, Maxton Hall is packed for the rugby championship. The whole crowd is chanting, while James gets teased by his teammates about skipping his dad's big investor day for the match. James doesn't care. He's only there for Cyril. The game starts just as Mortimer begins pitching his shiny realignment plan to his investors. The board immediately asks where James is, which embarrasses him on the spot. On the field, Ruby overhears girls gossiping about the Graham student photo. Mortimer's meeting goes nuclear. Harold, the biggest investor, calls Mortimer out for trying to rewrite everything Cordelia stood for. He also points out the obvious: James didn't bother showing up. Then he pulls his entire investment, humiliating Mortimer in front of the board. Back on the field, Cyril freezes during the last play and refuses to pass to James. That 1 second hesitation cost them the entire championship. Maxton loses, the team melts down, and Cyril breaks on the grass. Later, he tells James everything was better before Ruby arrived. James calls it out as nonsense, apologizes for not being there, and the two make up. Once the disaster meeting ends, Mortimer is reminded that Cordelia's will is being read that afternoon. He mutters that he already knows who ruined everything: Ruby. James and Lydia head to the notary and meet Aunt Ophelia, who vows that Cordelia believed in Lydia's vision and wouldn't betray her. But the will blindsides everyone. The notary claims that Cordelia left everything to Mortimer: every share, every property, all the money. Nothing for Lydia, nothing for James. James snaps. He calls out his father's manipulation, how he bullied Alice Campbell into revoking Ruby's scholarship, and how he sabotaged Ruby's parents' bakery deal. Mortimer threatens him again, but James fires back harder and storms out. Ophelia quietly resolves to challenge the will because the whole thing looks forged. Earlier, Lydia, who was panicking about the photo, went to her mother's grave. Graham found her there, and they shared this raw moment where they admitted they were terrified of what was coming. Lydia explained the parents' board is meeting soon, and that her father would lose it if the photo landed on his desk. Graham wanted to tell him first, but they were out of time. James was already on his way to pick her up for the will reading. Lydia also mentioned she thought her mother intended for her and James to become majority shareholders one day. Graham was proud of her. They hugged, and it was one of their last peaceful moments before everything explodes. Meanwhile, Ruby's world collapses too. Her mom is fired because the bakery she and her husband planned to buy back one day gets sold out from under her. No contract, no warning, just gone. Ruby instantly realizes it's Mortimer's doing. James gets her call right as he's walking into the will reading, and her pain hits him hard. He narrates about how hard it is to stay morally grounded when one powerful man can destroy so many lives just to feel superior. Later, James confronts Alice Campbell about canceling Ruby's scholarship. Alice tells him that defying Mortimer puts hundreds of students in danger, not just Ruby. James still insists Ruby has done nothing wrong and deserves her future. Later that day, James and Ruby reconnect quietly. He updates her on the forged-looking will, and she offers to let him stay, but he insists he stays with Cyril so she can remain focused on her exam. He promises that once she gets her scholarship, they'll celebrate her Oxford future together. James and Lydia crash at Cyril's, and the boys welcome them in. James admits Mortimer's cut him off financially, but Ophelia will help them fight. The group decompresses, and James narrates about realizing family might not be about blood, but about the people who stand by you when your real family fails. The next morning, Ruby narrates about chasing dreams even when the world feels stacked against you. It's supposed to be her big moment, her exam day, but Maxton won't let her breathe. Lexington summons Graham to explain his relationship with the student. Graham, thinking they're talking about Lydia, starts gearing up to defend their love until Lexington mentions the girl's mother is on her way. That's when Graham realizes in horror the student in question isn't Lydia, it's Ruby. Across campus, Ruby is pulled out of her scholarship exam before she can even begin. The principal's office is waiting, so is her mother. Lexington shows her the photo from the welcome party, the harmless kiss on the cheek, and accuses her of misconduct. Ruby tries to explain it was nothing, but he shuts her down. He explains Maxton can't risk its reputation and effectively suspends her. No exam, no graduation, no scholarship, no Oxford. Outside, Graham is being escorted away by police as Lydia watches in shock, and Elaine, the one who took the picture, stands there smirking, satisfied with the chaos she created. Ruby runs to James sobbing, and he wraps her up instantly, and that's where season 2 ends.